Hi everyone, I'm going to go over how to create a static website using Google Cloud Platform. And this is something I've been learning as I've been studying, and so I wanted to share this, record this for you. So first things first, if you want to go ahead and create a new project, and then you can name it, something helpful like a website or static, just so you have something, and then hit create. And this will create a new project for you. It takes a moment. And once that new project is loaded up, we're going to open up the navigation menu and come down to File Storage Browser. And once we have our storage browser, you can see we're going to create a bucket. Now this bucket is unique in that it's not just a standard storage bucket. We're going to include the name of our website that we're actually going to make. And you can see when I do that, a bucket name can only use dots to form a valid domain name. If you haven't verified that you're authorized to use this domain, you'll have to do so to create this bucket. So that's part of Google verifying you can actually host this domain in a bucket. That's a bit outside the scope of this, but you can verify that you own that clicking on this link here, learn more. Once you do that, you can hit continue. And I'm going to make sure this is really cheap. I don't want it to be in a bunch of different areas. I'm just going to select a single region and the one closest to me. And then the default storage class, I'm just going to use standard. And then choose how to control access. I just want that to be uniform so that it applies to all the same. And then advanced settings, Google Key Manage is fine. I don't need a label or a retention policy. I can hit create. That's going to go ahead and create that bucket for me to use. You can see the name of it here for the website I'm going to make. And at this point, I actually want to go out for a minute. And I want to look at this bucket at the storage browser level. And if you come over here to the three dots, you can see edit website configuration. This shows up when you have a www storage browser, and you can actually put in details here like index and error. And then make sure you do that so you have that, save it. And then additionally, when I go in, I want to change some permissions so that this is able to be accessed by the public. Currently default set to not public, and that's a security feature. It's really smart on the part of cloud providers, as opposed to, I think they used to make things public a long time ago, and they realized that wasn't a good idea. So now everything is private by default, and you have to explicitly open it. In this case, I want to add all users, meaning anyone, and then I want to allow them to view the storage bucket that I'm making. And then I'm going to save it. I don't want to add a condition. I don't want to send an email notification. And it'll say, are you sure you want to make this public? And yes, that's of course what we're doing for our website. And now you can see this changes to show that it's public, and they alert you. And at this point, you have an empty bucket, and you can go ahead and upload your files or your folders for that bucket. I'm going to do that really quick here. I have a basic, a basic website already ready to go. Just simple, right? I'm going to upload those two items in a couple folders. I'm not going to use the unused. This will just take a moment. And it's going to ask you, are you sure you want to upload all this stuff? And of course I do. And you can see that these are slowly uploading. And at this point, we have a bucket that's ready to go. The problem is, how do I get to that bucket? I don't want to just provide this public URL to people. I want them to be able to go to a HTTPS website. So this is kind of the first part, and that part's done. And then we want to move over to create a load balancer. So we're going to go under Network Services, Load Balancing. And this is going to take a moment. Once this loads up, I'll come back. All right, and now we're back, and load balancing is ready. We can go to Create Load Balancer, and we want to select the HTTP/S load balancing for websites, and we'll start the configuration. And then, of course, we want to pick from Internet to My VMs. At this point, we can name our load balancer. I'm just going to name it the name of my website. And we need to select a backend configuration for the HTTPS load balancer. So in this case, backend services and backend buckets. Well, we made that bucket, so we're going to go ahead and select that. And then we want to go to browse once we put in a name. And we see here's our bucket, www.infrastruct.net. And we can select that one. And now that it's selected, I'm not going to put on Cloud CDN. You can do that if you want to. And there doesn't really need to be anything else that you need to make for that. So once the backend is set up, it's going to create some default host and path rules. For what we're doing, we may want to have a little bit of additional information here. The reason why is I want it to go actually by default to my index.html. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it this way. I'm going to do host infrastruct.net, and then I'm going to do index.html. So if someone types in just infrastruct.net, they'll get redirected to this bucket. And then I'm also going to do www.infrastruct.net and then index.html. That way, whether they type in this or that, they get to this page. All right. And then down here, I'm going to put in a new name, and I want it to be HTTPS. And I actually want to create a static IP address because I'm going to use that static IP address on the HTTP load balancer that I have to make after this. So I'm going to reserve that IP address. And also I'm going to use a Google certificate. And so once this finishes, we will go ahead and select that. That's going to take a while to make. So this will be something we'll have to wait. But I'm going to use a Google managed certificate. I'm going to put in the domain name. And then I also want to do that so that I get both. Okay, so use both. You can add quite a few here. That'll be sufficient for what we're doing. That's going to take a little bit of time to actually get the work. And now I'm going to go SSL. We don't have to mess with these. Hit done. Review and finalize. You can see the settings. You can see the static IP address that's made. We can hit create here. That's going to take a little while to make. While it's doing that, I think we can actually go in and make another one. The second one you're going to make, and Google Cloud is a little weird in this, you have to make an HTTP load balancer that points to the HTTPS load balancer. So if someone just types it in without the 443 or HTTPS, they get redirected to the secure site. So I'm going to put some links in the description of the video, and those will point you to all the official Google Docs if that's helpful for you. I like going there and reading stuff. And in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to make an advanced host and path rule. We're going to say redirect the client to a different host path. And in this case, we want to use HTTPS redirect and leave the response code. I don't think you have to mess with any of this. Click that and hit done. And then the front end config is important too. We need to select the same static IP address that we used, and what this will do is point it, to the same one. You save it, and at that point we can hit done. At this point we can hit review and finalize, and it's going to alert out and say you haven't done any backend. You don't need any backend for this particular load balancer because it's just going to redirect it to this one. This one has the load balancing set in there. What you do need to do though is take this IP address here for your load balancer, and you need to create the appropriate records and DNS for your domain registrar for your website. And what that does at your domain registrar is that points this website to this IP address. And once you've created the DNS records, check the link for hosting a static website if you need more information on how to do that. Every domain registrar is unique. That's why I'm not going to show you mine on this one. But you're going to want to make an A record, for www and one for, just the standard @. You can also use a CNAME if you're using Google domains. That's important to know. But once you've done that and you have your load balancer up, you should be able to then browse to that website and have that work. The thing that's important to know is that certificate takes a little bit of time to work. The link in the Google static page has a Cloud Shell command you can run that can check the status of that certificate as well, make that easier for you. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and update my DNS real quick with that appropriate one. And then I want to come back and show you that that website's going to load up. So give me just a moment. All right, everyone, we're back, and it's been a little while. That certificate is provisioned, and I've updated my DNS. And real quick, I want to show you how to find that certificate you made. If you go to the search bar, type in SSL, you can actually see the certificate we made. And if you come here, what you're looking for to verify that it works is active, and then green check marks in the domain status of the domains that we added earlier. This indicates that the certificate was successfully provisioned for both of these domains and is now active and ready to be used. And so what I can do now is I can go up to my search bar and I can type in the website that we made. And now all of a sudden I have a website that's working, which is the one that we uploaded out of that bucket. And you can see that there's just random stuff here, right? I just made this simple website. You know, it doesn't have any other, links or anything. But it's working, and now with the HTML that you create, you can upload whatever website you want as a static page, and it'll work. And of course, these are just images out of that image folder, and everything's there. And that was really easy, right? And of course, when I type in intentionally the infrastruct.net on 80 port 80 HTTP, you can see it redirects to HTTPS, and that's that HTTP load balancer at work. Additionally, you can see, right, I didn't type in the /index.html. That redirect on the HTTPS load balancer is redirecting it automatically. And that is what you want when you give somebody your website, right? You don't want them to have to think about how to type in this extra part, so that URL redirect really works well for that. And overall, that's all there is to it. If you want to tear down this project, you can actually go into this and see that, hey, this was just our simple website. And if you go into project info under here, you can hit project settings, excuse me. I'm still learning Google Clouds. This is fun. You can actually hit shutdown and it'll close out this entire project. So that's pretty cool. Another item to know, if you want to look for that external IP address that you made and then remove that, you can actually go under VPC network external IP addresses. And then you can see that static IP address that we made for both of the load balancers and put in our DNS, and that's here. If you want to get rid of it, here it's not actually delete, it's release static address, and that'll light up once you select it. Oh, well, I guess I'm wrong. You can't release it until you remove it from your load balancer. So it's in use by these two. I guess that's pretty smart by Google Cloud, so be aware of that. But that brings us to the end of our lesson today. Obviously, we have a working website now. Pretty simple. Just took a little bit of time for that certificate to provision. And once it did, we had everything working. All right. Well, that's all. Thanks for following along. And, like and subscribe if you like the content and it was helpful. And we'll see you next time.